Slot's stance on Liverpool's win draws criticism from British press. The Reds opened their campaign with a 2-0 win away to Ipswich Town last weekend. The long-awaited Arne Slot era officially began in the Premier League last weekend, as Liverpool beat newly promoted Ipswich Town 2-0 away at Portman Road. Diogo Jota opened the scoring for the Reds, and Mohamed Salah closed out the game scoring. Both goals came in the second half of the game. Despite the result, the performance in the first half was below expectations. Ipswich Town made extensive use of long balls to centre forward Liam Delap. The strategy caused Liverpool's defence some difficulty, as the Reds were unable to win many of these aerial duels. So much so that coach Arne Slot made a drastic change right at the end of the break, bringing on Konate in place of Quansah. When asked about the change, the Dutch coach said he made the change to increase the team's defensive power. "It's not that Jarrell, Quansah, lost all the tackles, a lot of us lost a lot of duels, so we needed Konate to win those long balls in the air towards his number 9, Liam Delap, so that helped and gave us control," justified Slot. Commentators criticised coach's approach in interview. As soon as Diogo Jota scored Liverpool's first goal against Ipswich, curiously, the camera caught the reaction of the Reds reserves. Virtually every player stood up to celebrate the Red team's first goal in the 2024-2025 Premier League, except Quansah. The defender showed no reaction and seemed very unhappy with his departure at half-time. One of the first to comment on the change and Slot's response in the press conference was former England striker and top scorer at the 1990 World Cup, Gary Lineker. In an interview with the podcast The Rest is Football, the commentator highlighted the change in stance from the Dutch coach to Jurgen Klopp, who defended his athletes more in front of the press. "That's talking publicly about a player's performance. You would never have heard that under Klopp, so there's a bit of a difference there," Lineker said. For Newcastle idol Alan Shearer, the Liverpool coach only approached the subject in that way because Quansah is new and would not have much room to respond to the manager. "But he wasn't an experienced player, was he? I'm not so sure he would have done that in that case. It's easier to do that with a younger player than a big hitter, and to be fair, his decision worked," he pondered. Slot made the right move, but it could create a bad atmosphere in the locker room. Despite criticism of Slot's stance, critics believe that the change promoted by the Dutchman has had results on the field. However, the coach's speech may have created an unfriendly atmosphere in the dressing room, and it is something that the manager will have to deal with in Liverpool's next challenges in this Premier League. Manchester United legend Gary Neville said Slot's decision worked, but his conduct could create an environment that is difficult to manage in the future. Arne Slot was quite tough on Quansah. He felt they needed to win the duels in the air. "I think that was the main driving force behind the decision and it worked," Neville said. If you liked the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications and don't miss the next videos.